Easter is the central miracle upon which the entire Christian faith is based and even depends. Yeah, Christmas has more pageantry, and especially for Westerners, it has a longer season than Easter. But without the resurrection of Jesus, his overcoming sin and death for our sake, Christmas is nothing more than the celebration of yet another famous person's birthday. It's Easter that makes Christmas meaningful. Now, every Easter, there are the inevitable distractions and misdirections away from the centrality of Jesus' resurrection from the dead following his death on the cross. There are the secular or cultural trappings of Easter, colorfully dyed eggs, chocolates, Easter egg hunts, bonnets, and bunnies. There are other distractions, though, that compete for our attention and our intellect, such as the inevitable documentaries trying to debunk the historicity of the resurrection with titles like The Secrets of Easter or What the Church Doesn't Want You to Know About the First Easter. And this year, during Holy Week, some of the distractions are centering around what seems like an obviously Christian phrase, particularly the phrase, Christ is King. Some would say that the phrase is simply an utterance of a core Christian belief that goes back 2,000 years, that Jesus, as the Messiah and Redeemer of all of humanity, is King over all creation. But there are reports of those using this phrase in conjunction with antisemitic language, using it really to shield their rhetoric from criticism by Christians who would otherwise disagree with them. I think of Andrew Tate and Sneeko, two famous converts to Islam, who've actually tweeted, Christ is King, which is as un-Islamic as it gets, perhaps as a way to criticize Jews and rally Christians into their criticisms of Jews. Now, recent history gives us examples of groups turning straightforward phrases into propaganda to sow division and then shield themselves using those phrases from criticisms. But at its core, beyond all the rhetorical machinations and social hand-wringing, is the original meaning behind the claim that Jesus Christ is King. And it's not about conquering one set of people for the benefit of others or vanquishing people we don't agree with. No. Christ is King because he's no longer dead. And he hasn't been ever since that first Easter 2,000 years ago. Earthly kings have conquered so much. Earthly kings have ruled both benevolently and tyrannically over vast territories. But with all their power and might, they all have or will succumb to death and decay. The empires they've ruled have either declined or totally fallen. Where earthly kings perish, Christ the King lives. Where earthly kings fight, Christ the King forgives. I'm reminded of the anonymous piece called The Thorn-Crowned King, and it goes like this. Full many a king a golden crown has worn, but only one a diadem of thorn. Full many a king has sat on a jeweled throne, but only one hung on a cross alone. Through garlanded gay streets, cheered by the crowd, great kings have ridden, one with his head bowed. Beneath the burden of his cross, passed on to die on Calvary, one king, but one. All other kingdoms are passing now, save his who wore the bramble on his brow. Christ is King because he conquered death and decay, the adversaries to which all kings on this earth have fallen or will fall. Though Jesus' kingdom is not of this world, it is a kingdom that beckons all of us, rich or poor, powerful or meek, white or black, male or female, Gentile or Jew, to find hope in the Lamb who was slain and the King who rose from the dead. Ephesians 2:14-15 says this, written by Paul, who speaks of the unity of Jews and non-Jews in Christ. For he himself is our peace, who has made us both one and has broken down in his flesh the dividing wall of hostility by abolishing or fulfilling the law of commandments expressed in ordinances, that he might create in himself one new man in place of the two, so making peace, and might reconcile us both to God in one body through the cross, thereby killing the hostility. Paul undercuts the use of Christ as King to hurt people. If someone says Christ is King to hurt others, then they don't understand what it means for Christ to actually be King, to be the King who kills hostility. It's Jesus' resurrection that proved what Jesus set to accomplish, and that he did in fact accomplish. Don't get distracted from that truth this Easter.